Hello, Homestead. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please stay standing for a moment of silence.
The new Homestead High School building project is underway. You'll see what the new building will look like, as well as an update on the current construction taking place.
Plus, COVID-19 has affected many programs here at Homestead, one of which is advisory. You'll find out more about the plans for advisory's future. Those stories and more straight ahead. Thank you for joining us. I'm Nada DeHook.
And I'm Andre Sentlever. You've certainly seen all of the construction starting around the campus of Homestead High School, but have you wondered what everything is going to be and when it will be finished? HHS in-depth reporter Ashton Hackman is in to give us a detailed look at what the new Homestead High School will look like, and an update on the current construction taking place today. Ashton?
Good afternoon, Andre. I'm standing near what used to be the varsity baseball field, and obviously as you look behind me, it is no longer that. This area will soon become a parking lot in the new building, and this is just one of many areas on campus where construction has already begun.
At the turn of its 50th anniversary, Homestead is getting a makeover. $169 million worth. After years of planning and community input, the new school project has officially broken ground. Project executive Jay Wilhelm walks through the timeline of the project.
Okay, so where the previously it was the boys baseball field is becoming new staff and student parking. So the entrance off of Homestead will remain the same. Then we have additional parking and lane and drop-off access to a new lot closer for visitors, which will be closer to the new entrance, main entrance to the high school. So this entire area will become paving and parking lot. To the south will be a detention area, but also the new girls varsity softball field. Our goal here is to get this completed by October or sooner, so that we can then take over where phase 2 or the expansion to the south will take over this parking lot. Therefore, you have a new parking lot here to make up for what's lost in parking where the expansion goes. So the goal is to have both these lots ready in October. Roughly in this area will be the new auditorium. So your existing auditorium is about 6 or 650. The new one's planned for about 1,000 seats. The new main gym will be more, new competition gym. Will be more on the west side of the existing building around this side of the building where the existing auxiliary gym is. It's going to be more of a 4-sided gym now, so seating on 4 sides. Open for about I think 3,000. So it's going to be even more modern. The center suspended scoreboard. We're looking forward to having more availability for fans and activities in that competition gyms.
Construction is expected to last 3 to 4 years, meaning most of us will never step foot in the new building. You can follow the progress by logging on to the Homestead website and clicking on the construction tab. We will also have more updates throughout the school year. Reporting from inside the construction zone, Ashton Hackman, HHS In Depth.
Thanks, Ashton. Attention seniors, senior quotes for the yearbook are due by the end of the semester. Quotes should be short, about the same length of a tweet or shorter, and must be school appropriate. Please email your quote to hhs.seniorquotes2021@gmail.com.
Today, after school, the Homestead Young Progressives Club is having its 3rd meeting of the year. Get down to Mrs. Smith's room 614, to learn how Fort Wayne made the front cover of Politico magazine. Everyone is welcome, regardless of political affiliation.
Another club meeting today after school is K-Pop Club. Join them right after the school day in room 924.
Softball Open Diamond sessions will start on Tuesday, September 22nd from 3:15 to 4:45 on the varsity softball diamond and continue each Tuesday and Thursday as weather permits. All students interested in working on their skills with the coaches are encouraged to attend. A 2020 to 2021 IHSAA physical must be on file with the athletic office. Returning players may use last year's exams if they complete 2 additional short forms. Everyone must also turn in a new concussion and random drug test form. Contact Coach Harbour or Coach Clegg with questions.
There will be a cheerleading call-out meeting for parents or guardians and student athletes on Wednesday, September 30th at 6 p.m. in the community room. Be sure to be there at door 1. Tryout clinic dates are October 12th and 13th from 3:30 to 5 p.m. The tryout date is set for October 14th beginning at 3:30 p.m. All events are going to be in the Freshman Academy gym, so please enter through door number 26. For any questions or concerns, please contact the coaches via email, which can be found on the HHS Athletic website.
One major change at school this year is not having advisory every Thursday. To learn the details of what's in store for advisory for the remainder of the school year, here's HHS in-depth reporter Carly Flanagan.
With school starting up again, you may have noticed that students have not attended their advisory classes yet this year. With new safety precautions put in place throughout Homestead, advisory has been postponed and there has been discussion as to when it will return.
With COVID and contact tracing, we're doing our best to limit the contacts for students, and just until further notice, we felt like it was best to not include advisory. We all hope that we can get back to our normal schedule, which includes Thursday advisories after second period.
With the possibility of advisory starting again, there is speculation of what the new safety measures for advisory will be, food being a main source of concern.
Food has always been a fun part of advisory, and obviously as the restrictions and CDC guidelines continue to evolve, we're going to follow those, follow what our local health department says that we can do. But probably for safety purposes, we're going to say, bring your own and or have individually wrapped items if something were to be shared. Everything that we're doing currently in the general classroom, those are going to be the same guidelines that we use when we're able to start advisory back up. The social distancing, the mask wearing, and cleanliness, cleaning of the desks and our hands, etc. So those things are all going to be the same.
Advisory's purpose was to fill graduation requirements, and many students wonder if the recent changes will affect advisory in the future.
The C3s and the pathways piece, which were the reflections that we were working on prior to quarantine last year, those will still be a requirement for all 4 grades. And obviously, if our time is limited in advisory, we will adjust those requirements as needed. But for the state of Indiana, they are still required.
For now, Homestead students can expect to have no advisory until the safety guidelines permit. Be on the lookout for any changes in the future. Reporting for HHS In Depth, I'm Carly Flanagan.
When we come back, you'll meet the host of the state's best high school radio show, as well as learn about eSACS as an option of digital learning.
Stay tuned, you're watching HHS In Depth.
Film Club meets on Tuesdays after school in Mrs. Ricker's room, room 113. Be sure to join them for snacks and watch great films.
The Young Americans for Freedom Club will be meeting again next Tuesday, September 22nd, from 2:40 to 3:20 in Mr. Biles' room, room 718. Feel free to stop by and join the conversation about current events and politics. All political views are welcome.
Basket Weaving Club will meet next Thursday, September 24th in Mrs. Ricker's room, room 204. No experience is necessary to attend.
Homestead High School has many one-of-a-kind programs to offer students, one of those being a real radio station for kids to host their own talk show during or after school. To learn more about the program and how you can get involved, here's HHS In-Depth reporter Easton Hensley.
Hey, I'm Carly.
And I'm Cora.
And this is our show, Asking for a Friend. This week we're
Homestead's radio station, The Point 91 FM, has hosted radio shows for over 25 years, creating both hours of entertainment for its listeners and hands-on experience for Homestead students. Although radio students occupy shows throughout the day, after-school radio shows are available to everyone.
It's open to the entire school. Freshmen to seniors, everybody can have a radio show. You don't have to be in the program. You can be someone that hasn't touched a broadcasting class whatsoever. Currently, we have Mondays and Tuesdays filled. We have one slot open every day, Wednesday through Friday, right after school to 3:30.
Students with after-school radio shows enjoy the freedom they have to talk about their passions and interests when expressing themselves on a public platform.
Cora and I wanted to talk about just our normal lives and everything within it, and being in high school is kind of a cool phase, and we thought that since the point was going to give us an opportunity to talk about it, we figured why not just do a show and have fun with it. I'd say it's really fun because you have a lot of freedom to say whatever you want to talk about and to do the things you want to do. You can talk about anything. I mean, you literally can do whatever you want to do. It's so fun.
Students also take interest in the opportunity to share stories with a large audience of listeners.
I think the best thing about having the radio show on a point is I get to tell a story. Storytelling is something I really love to do. I can reach a broader audience of people that might actually want to hear about a guy that fakes an entire alien invasion on New Jersey. And it's stories like that that are just so fun, and I love that I get to share them with people and reach this broader audience about it.
If you'd like to create an after-school radio show, contact Mr. Dunn at adunn@sacs.k12.in.us or stop by room 600A. Reporting for HHS In Depth, I'm Easton Hensley.
You've heard the term eSACS a lot recently due to COVID-19, but to tell you more about what kind of learning takes place in this program, here's HHS In Depth reporter William Biquette.
With the startup of the new eSACS program, many Homestead teachers have new duties to tackle. Here's what they've done to adapt their classrooms to the new medium.
A lot of time and effort went into creating the format, and the basic format built into Canvas that advances the kids screen by screen through all the material.
Not only have there been technological changes for eSACS, but changes in the attitudes of teachers and students alike.
Students commit to a whole semester, and so I think there's kind of more of a buy-in from the very beginning. That's one of the things that would make it different. The teachers are a little bit more prepared for that kind of teaching.
This new medium isn't just a way around traditional schooling. It can also be a big help to certain students.
I love it. I think it's a wonderful opportunity because I think what we saw in the spring is that not every student needs to be in the brick and mortar school.
In the classroom, I have kids that will sometimes take 10 minutes to complete an activity, and other kids will take a half hour. And in eSACS, the kid that takes 10 minutes, he's done and he can move on. And it's nice for him that those that can do that and get something done quicker can just move on.
When you're in the class and you're listening to the lecture, you know, there are some kids who pick it up immediately. And then you've got those other kids who really struggle. I think nothing is one size fits all. We should have as many options as we can have for people to learn in different ways.
These teachers have used their skills to overcome challenges and provide new opportunities to students. Reporting for HHS In Depth, I'm William Biquette.
For students coming back to school this year, the challenges they faced during the pandemic was unlike anything they faced before. To hear some student opinions on what they're dealing with on a daily basis, here's HHS In Depth reporter Jensen Clegg.
Here at Homestead, numerous measures have been taken to prevent the spread of COVID-19. These new safety guidelines have affected the experiences of freshmen and returning students alike as they do their best to adapt to these changes.
It's way different than middle school, and it's different because of all the masks and the cleaning and having to make new friends and adjusting to all that stuff.
I feel like I've adapted quite well, wearing a mask, social distancing, washing my hands, sanitization. I feel like this is a good measure to take. We are making the best of hard times. We're trying to resume classes. For me personally, I do believe we will lock down, unfortunately, once again, just due to how high the numbers currently are. I believe that this will be like the flu. It will be gone and then it will come back.
Safety guidelines mandate that students, teachers, and all other school personnel must wear masks, sanitize their desks, and social distance when possible, which can be a challenge in Homestead's crowded halls.
I feel like personally for myself, it's been harder to adapt just because having to wear the masks, having to socially distance, not being able to do as many things with my friends, the precautions we're taking are going to be useful in the long run so that hopefully we can get back to school without having to wear masks.
My senior year has been pretty good so far. It's been interesting, but it hasn't been all bad. I've been able to get a lot done with senior experience and have new experiences with my friends. And despite social distancing and coronavirus, it's still been a good year.
Hopefully, we will continue to avoid an outbreak as we follow these safety procedures. But during these uncertain times, there is no such thing as being too careful. Reporting for HHS In Depth, I'm Jensen Clegg. Stay safe.
Turning to weather now, this week has certainly felt fall-like outside, but are we going to see another warm-up before the official end of summer?
Cora Shaw joins us now with a check of the game night forecast.
For tonight's game against Snyder, you can expect cooler temperatures in the low 60s at kickoff.
If you're one of the few in attendance tonight, plan on bringing a hoodie or a jacket, as the temps will be down in the low 50s before the game ends. It shouldn't be too windy, and we'll have clear skies all game long. I'll be back with a check of the 7-day forecast a little later on.
All right, thank you, Cora.
Next in sports, Homestead kept it rolling on the football field last Friday, winning in a triple overtime classic. When we come back, Ashton and Caleb will have a recap.
Plus, find out how the other athletic teams did this past week. We'll be right back.
Homestead versus Snyder. Tonight at Spooler Stadium. Listen live on the Point 91 FM.
Happy Friday, I'm Ashton Hackman. Homestead continues to bounce back from a Week 1 loss against Northrop, taking down their rival Bishop Dwenger. With a recap of the exciting game against the Saints last week and standings from the SAC, here's sports reporter Caleb Wood.
Week 4 of high school football would bring the top of the conference team, Bishop Dwenger, into Homestead Stadium. The Spartans would get a huge win after a triple overtime game. Not too much to talk about in the first half besides the defense. Early on, with the tackle, Dwenger fumbles and Homestead recovers. Later on, it's Luke Palmer with the sack on Homestead quarterback Brendan Lytle. Palmer leading the Homestead defense. He would get 13 tackles for the night. Both teams would head off the field at the half completely scoreless, but the Homestead offense would come out ready to change that. Third quarter, Homestead making their way fast down the field. Their momentum puts them in the red zone. Ormsby to Nate Anderson for the touchdown, the first points on the board. Fast forward to the start of the fourth quarter, Dwenger fights their way into the end zone, and with 4:49 left, Dwenger takes the 7-point lead with another touchdown. With time running out, Ormsby throws the ball downfield, and it's caught by Nate Anderson. The extra point is good, and this makes the game tied 14-14 with only 35 seconds left. Dwenger fails to score in the remaining seconds, sending the game into overtime. Each team getting a chance with the ball 10 yards out. Homestead offense is up first. On third down, senior Ethan Chambers catches the ball for the touchdown. Dwenger responds with the touchdown, sending the game into a double overtime 21-21. This time it's Dwenger up first. They are successful with the touchdown, and the Homestead offense needs to score. Handoff to Braden Hardwick. He spins around and finds his way into the end zone. This ties it up again, 28-28. Triple overtime. This time it's Braden Hardwick again, his second touchdown on the night. Dwenger decides to go for the 2-point conversion after another touchdown. The score 35-34. The deciding play is right here, and it's the Spartan defense with the stop. Dwenger just short of the end zone, and the Spartans getting a huge victory over Bishop Dwenger, 35-34. Friday's game certainly shook up the SAC. Homestead now just behind Carroll in the conference, the only undefeated team left. Homestead now 3-1 for the season. The Spartans face the 2-2 Snyder Panthers tonight at Spooler Stadium.
Taking a look at recent Homestead athletic action over the past week, the state title defending girls golf team was in action at Chestnut Hills on Tuesday night. The Lady Spartans took down Leo with a new team record of 138. Maddie DeBeja also set the new 9-hole record by shooting 4 under par. Simone Sank shot 2 under and Amy Frazier shot par. The team is competing in sectionals at Timber Ridge tomorrow morning. The girls soccer team ran up the score against Belmont on Tuesday night, winning 4-0. The Spartans were led by senior Emma Doobie with 2 goals and Lauren Brown and Taylor Archbold with 1 goal each. They now sit at 7-2 on the season as they gear up to face Penn here at home tomorrow. Both cross-country teams were in action at the Bruin Invitational over the weekend. The girls team placed 3rd, led by freshman Addison Canablo, who placed 1st, Reagan Albers, who placed 12th, and Mia Faber, who placed 14th. On the boys' side, 3 Spartans broke into the top 20. Pushing the team to a second-place finish behind Concordia. Junior Ethan Bates led the Spartans with the first-place finish. Seniors Donnie McCardle and Henry Myers shortly behind him and 4th and 15th, respectively. Both teams are in action at the West Noble Invitational tomorrow morning. And the boys tennis team took home a 5-0 win over Adams Central on Wednesday night. They will be in action here at home tomorrow morning. That's all for sports. Cora has a final check of the forecast after the break. Here at Homestead High School Media, we're taking steps to stay safe during the COVID-19 pandemic. That includes limiting the number of workers in the TV studio and wearing masks when not on camera. We also socially distance our anchors each week at the news desk. In the studios, we limit the number of people allowed in at a time, and even our mics wear masks. Thank you for doing your part in helping fight COVID-19.
Over the next few days, the fall-like weather conditions continue, with temperatures staying relatively low with highs only in the mid-60s and overnight lows falling down to the 30s. On Tuesday, the first official day of fall, we'll see temperatures reaching up to the mid-70s, but it will still stay cool overnight, so the AC can stay off for the entire week. We should have sunny skies all week long, with next Thursday being the best chance of rain. All in all, a great week of weather ahead as summer tries to hang on for at least another week. Andre, Nada, back to you.
All right, Cora, thank you. And thank you for watching today.
Don't forget that the Homestead Spartans are back in action tonight on the road against Snyder. You can listen to all the action on the .91 FM with the OPS pregame show featuring Matt Salfrank and Chris Corman taking the air at 6:15 p.m. And kickoff will be set for 7 p.m.
You can also get quarterly score updates by checking the Locker Reports Twitter page, and Ashton and Caleb will be in to get the recap on the action next week in sports.
Have a great weekend.